Ladies and gentlemen, the Double RT Boxing Show with Mr.A. Post-fight recap number 4 will begin shortly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Mr.A. Thumbs up if you have not already. Thumbs up. This is a post-fight recap of the Showtime boxing card, headlined by Spence Jr. taking on Peterson. The earlier prelims, Adam Kowalski stopped Khalid's Ego, I always mess his last name up, in the 6th round TKO. Wow, Mr. A has started January off with a lot of L's. That was one of them. Adam stopped Ego 6th round, dropped him twice. What else? Marcus Brown stopped Francis in T2 in the 1st round, TKO'd him. And then my man Ivan Gulab stopped Fidel in the 3rd round with a TKO. So hopefully I can get a hold of those fights and maybe check the Showtime app or something, see if they're down on in there, see if they have any prelim coverage. Of the main event, although I do have a lot of L's already in my predictions, which is not good. I got to be a winner. But I'm not going to stop because no one likes a quitter. No one likes a quitter. Now, one prediction I did get was the Spence. Not only was he going to be victorious, Mr. A did call that Barry Hunter was going to stop that fight because he didn't like the punishment Lamont was taking. So I got one good L. I got one good W for lots of L's. Now about that fight, that Spence Jr. That was a nice range of Spence, so we could get more into that. And then I had to watch the fights backwards, so sorry announcing them backwards. I came home for the live Spence, but I had to watch the backwards Easter one. And then the Easter Fortuna. That was a very interesting fight, folks. Very interesting fight. I had to fight 114. Well, let's go over what the scorecards were for that fight. It was 114, 113 apiece. And then it was 115, 112 for Easter. Wow, it was. I do one. I don't know. It was a close fight. I had it 114, 113 for Fortuna. Yes, Fortuna. I had Easter 1, 5, 7, 8, and 9. I had Easter doing that. Is what I thought it was going to happen. Easter is good, but he can't move and fight. And Javier, like I said, all those opponents he was able to look dominant in the inside was they're standing right in front of him, allowing him to fire off. Fortuna was able to counter him, score some peppering shots and move, but just building up some small points. Because what Fortuna did was he moved around the ring, maybe like I said, when you break down a fight, and how if I'm judging it, I break it by minute. So that way it gives you a pretty dominant, who kind of wins the round. And sometimes a round I can't judge a round until like maybe like the second minute, because first minute Fortuna might kill the clock out, or no one's, there's a lot of feinting going on. So there'd be a lot of times you go like, okay, a minute 30, you start judging action, and then you got to judge like the other thing, like, okay, why was all that time gone? Did Fortuna was moving, making Robert Easter reset his feet, not landing clean shots, where Fortuna just be able to jump in, land some little peppery combos and escape. That's why he got some rounds. But like Easter was able to crack him with some good straight rights once in a while just to win rounds. Like I said, Fortuna sometimes will just move around so much, and like he has no place. Like he's sitting there waiting outside the long right, bow, going straight down the middle. It'd be like one or two hits, and it'd be good enough for Easter to win a round. And actually, I believe in round 3, Easter like really just landed a good straight left, a good straight right, and Fortuna just didn't really throw enough action, and those 1-2 punches kind of won the round. And they weren't much, but sometimes Fortuna's movement went against him. I think that was one of the rounds. He just didn't throw the action. I wouldn't say the movement went against him. Just he did throw action, but the movement all fight long had Robert Easter frustrated. He was trying to walk him down, and once in a while he'd try reaching for a jab. He went a little off balance, and what the movement allowed to do, you saw a lot as the second half of the fight, when Easter was like trying to walk him down and then reach for the jab. The fact that he wasn't quite feet planted, there wasn't much strength on it, and he had to actually reach. Fortuna would counter on the recoil and just, and then either hold him, headlock him, or just skate away. Like I said, the shots weren't always strong, but he did land some good hooks. So he was able to really show how movement it was bothering Robert Easter. And in the inside game, he was actually able to he was able to counter good. Well, what round do we have it in? I think the end of the round 6, Robert Easter cracks him with a straight right, but gets caught with a counter left, and they just and that's stumbled Easter, and he stumbled Easter at least probably 3 times, I would say, in this fight. And one time I forgot what round it was, but he caught Easter. If I could just read round 10. He caught Easter in round 10 with a nice little flurry against the ropes. And Easter fell forward. He grabbed the rope. That could have been a knockdown because the rope stopped Easter from falling. No one said nothing about it because Easter did it quick. But, it wasn't a stumble. It was a pow. And Easter kind of stumbled forward, arm locked the ropes, let go real fast, and then kept fighting. That was a knockdown that was... But he was able to land some nice countering inside hooks on Robert Easter. He totally... Like I said, he to me, because Robert Easter did land some nice body shots in the inside, but this was not the inside attack game from Robert Easter we're normally seeing. Like against Comey and Dennis, he was really oh, okay, for a tall guy, he's dominating. He's doing really good on the inside. It really wasn't those type of moments for you to say that about Robert Easter in this fight like you normally do. He landed some body shots, but Fortuna was able to land some nice hooks over those and skate. And like I said, he wasn't there like Comey and Dennis all the time to get the rest of them. He got some, but not the normal amount that Robert is used to landing. And that movement was able just to have him awkwardly time Robert coming in. It's good counters. And Robert did his normal, catch with the jabs. Jab, 1-2, maybe hits a little body, but he had Robert off. Well, I won't say off balance, but resetting, and his punch, like I forgot what the copyback numbers was, but Robert's aggression level was lowered, So and that movement really slowed Robert Easter's power, his offense down, and Fortuna picked the little spots. But somewhere in the point, like I said, round 2, Fortuna was deducted a point for hitting behind the head. I thought he did good enough to make that an even 9-9 round. That's what I gave him. So I don't know if that was the ultimate distant difference in the fight. So I don't know how that goes. But like I said, Fortuna was able just not be there for Robert Easter's normal body hit combos, like I said. And you saw that the fact that Robert Easter couldn't really move around the ring and catch him. He's to me, he's not the best mobile fighter, and it really, like I say, I know Fortuna's a hard person to cut the ring off, and as Paulie was mentioning, but he showed he's not, like I said, if Fortuna wasn't against the ropes, Robert Easter really didn't do much, so for like a 1-2, but that was far in between. And that's about that. Anything I can say about Fortuna in this one? This was a pretty good scrap. The post conference interview. Shut up. Fortuna was pissed. Threw his hat in the crowd. He told I don't believe it was to Jim Gray, but he responded to like Easter saying, "Be professional, make weight for the rematch." If one was to happen, he's like, "Shut up. Get that fuck out of here." He was pissed. I'm trying to think what that was. Like I said, he stumbled. He like, you see, if he didn't buckle Easter, there's a lot of times where Easter's momentum was not going forward no more. Like he's like, all right, hold on, not in super retreat mode, but like gather myself, and you weren't used to seeing people make Easter change directions like that, because Easter be like, oh no, okay, hold on. So he's able to do that to Easter at least twice. It was a good showing. But like I said, I did have Fortuna winning 114, 113. I had Fortuna winning rounds 3, 4, 6, 10, 11, and 12. And I had round 2 a tie, a 9-9 round. Now, and that was for the IBF. Considering Fortuna did not make weight, Robert Easter was going to be the champion regardless. So that was for the lightweight 135. Now, that being said, before we do go on and cover the post-fight recap of the Errol Spence Jr. and the Lamont Peterson, let's just talk about this a little bit. The little Robert Easter. So, it was a hot little news commodity. Robert Easter. How come Mikey Garcia is not calling out Robert Easter? How come no one wants to fight Robert Easter for unification? Is Robert Easter really that person to be fighting? He's a champion, I get it, but it's like, the Mikey Garcia is like, dude, do people honestly now, is it out there? That was probably the hottest little 135, I guess you could say, banter amongst boxing fans. Robert Easter, Mikey Jr. So do us fans, H2O for clean the soul. Do us fans still think Easter could do something to Mikey Garcia after that performance? Or does Mikey Garcia not have the Javier Fortuna movement? But I think Mikey Garcia knows the proper footsteps to make Robert Easter reset with a double and triple up jab. Things could be interesting. Leave in a comment below. Who do you have? Question for thee during the post-fight recap. The question for thee, if you care to partake in it, who do you have? Robert Easter or Mikey Garcia? Now, moving on to the main event of that Showtime on January. I want to say March because March is hot. March is hot. They added, sorry to go off topic, but they added a Victor Postol versus Rodriguez Priest is on March 9th, the Friday before the 10th of Garcia Lipinets. Back to Spence and Peterson. Just little boxing, just delivering boxing stuff. Thumbs up for boxing. So Peterson and Spence. Barry Hunter was not. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, man. Not liking what I'm seeing. And of all the predictions I have got L's on already, this is the one I get a W on, and I call Barry Hunter stops it. I saw this one coming. It's Lamont. He could have used a movement to get a big lead, but he can't use the movement with the energy that he's going to take and then expect to keep Spence off with some fire back. So in order to save some energy for the later rounds of moving, that was the plan. They tried to keep it even, take a one around here or one round behind until like it's later rounds and move. Spence was just able to stop that plan with a jab. It was a nice 1-2s that they were doing, body jab. What Spence was doing nice was forcing the high guard with, forcing the Lawrence Peterson high guard with like doubling and tripling up the jab. And so when Lamont came up, boom, there came the body stab. He started that from round 1 through the whole fight. It even got to the point where Barry Hunter's like, man, he's doing the body stab, man. That's your move. Come on now. So that, it was one knockdown was included in the 5th round. It was just Errol Spence just 1-2ing, body stabbing, 1-2ing. Once more here, throw a hook, just patiently keeping aggression but controlled. And Lamont, he was able, like that. He showed a pretty. It was always, everyone says Errol Spence gets hits with a right. He could get hit with a right, but the way Lamont Peterson was able to just fire almost off at will and hit him, because he would just, he was standing low. As soon Errol Spence would fire anything, just a hook to the body, or a hook to the head, or something, anything he fired, just boom, a straight right after his last punch. Because Errol's last punch always, whatever it was, boom, boom, and he'd stay right there and bam, a straight right was, because the way Lamont stands, he's crouched up, so he just did that little like puppet punch. You know how you control puppets. He just snapped it. It always cracked him, Spence quick. So it shows. That's why after the fight, Spence I still need to work on my defense, because every time whether Peterson was in the proper distance to do it, but when he was, it never missed, and it always was a clean shot. Bam! after every combo. No matter what was what was the last punch, boom. So, but it wasn't enough because, like I said, Spence was able to just 1-2. Throw some hooks, 1-2, some body, the body stab. Like I said, the fifth round, it kind of like hit him with the right and then just the left over the head, just like kind of grazed him right on the temple. He kind of like the knees kind of like fell slow on his butt. It was a good fight, man. But even in like round 5, and from like I said, the corner and everything, Barry Hunter just not liking what I'm seeing. Not liking what I'm seeing. And what was interesting was, if you like really listen to it, Peterson saying like, "Oh, I'm good, man, I'm good." He's sending back out there. I'm not next round. Like I'm not like what I'm seeing. And you see Peterson like look at him and like turn away, and other coaches like trying to like Vaseline him up and do some with his gloves. Barry Hunter's like looking at him, and you hear Peterson like, give me some instructions on what to do, man, instead of just talking that mess. He says something along those lines. He said, just give me some instructions how to win this fight instead of just talking that. I was like, oh, but like, it's there, and Barry Hunter's still like, I'm not like what I'm seeing. But round seven, Peterson was just really, his eyes were like puffed up. Those 1-2s, and because it got to like round 7, you start seeing Spence kind of do some like trying to do like if it was like almost like some small herkish jerkish steps, and like he's trying to like do some angle stuff, quick little angles, not as fast as Josh Kelly or even Carl Frampton, but some movement for Errol Spence that I think could give some people problems if he gets a little better and perfects that. But yeah, he was able just to work the body, work the 1-2s. Like I said, Lamont was able to land some like left hooks. I think like in round 4 he landed like pretty like 4 good shots. It just Spence was able just to land more and more, or just walk right through him. If there was maybe you could give round 3 for Lamont. Maybe it's like the only one. Like I said, Spence was going up and down with the jab, kept him in the high guard, boom, hit him up. Then he just worked himself on the jab, throw some hooks, and Lamont, he tried to turn up the volume in round 2. He threw more punches. Like I said, he started landing the right. Round 4, he landed more hooks, but it was more off too much pressure coming, so he just trying to throw with him. And he started to actually move in round like 4 or 5, but it's like I said, it's like even they said it. They're like the commentators like, oh look, here's the lateral movement from Lamont Peterson. And then Paul's like, yes, but it's there, but it looks like it's kind of like Spence is forcing him to move, not because Lamont's trying to move for strategy. And you can see like Spence was Will was starting to overcome Lamont Peterson. It just started to invade his space. So he started hitting the bodies. He started like that. Well, he just keep him in the high guard, come around, and the eyes were just getting puffy, and that's what Barry Hunter's eye didn't like his right eye. Because after the fight, he said congratulations to Spence, and you can just hear the talk like, hey man, you're a great fighter. I just gotta stop my boy. I didn't like the way his right eye was starting to look. Lamont. Yeah, blah 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 blah. So that's what that was saying, but. That was that overall a good fight. And after the post fight interview, Spence, they asked him, "Who do you want to fight?" And he's like, "Man, I've been calling out Keith." He say, "I want sometimes Thurman, something like that." And I've been calling out Keith since I was 15. He's always making some excuses. So fight his voluntary in April, his tune-up, and then let's get it on. So we will see. We will see. You know, that makes things interesting cause before this show ends, feeding off of that, Showtime Sean Porter was there. You know, and they showed the little punch segment where he broke his left hand on Granado's head. Like, you see him. But feeding into that, they asked him who does he want to fight. He's like, oh well, you know, we want Thurman. You know, he has his. We did that 2 mandatories or eliminators, whatever, and you know, we're willing to wait. So if Thurman fights in April, and then his next fight is probably October, November. Will Sean Porter stay inactive that long? And if he does wait for Thurman, and Thurman gets goosed into a Spence fight for unification by just the demand, where does that leave Porter then? Waiting all that time, just being on the shelf? That'd be crazy if Sean Porter stays that long. Does like an Amir Khan thing, just waiting for the fight. Well, we hope to see him active, Sean Porter. Like I say, he has been known to stay busy fights. You know, he did the exhibition fight at his gym. He did the prelims on the Mayweather thing, didn't he? I believe he did. I know he fought the Lorme. He has fights. You know, he takes the PBC will keep him busy if he wants to stay busy. And that pretty much concludes the whole thing. You know, Spence called out sometimes Thurman. Sean Porter is in the win on that one. If he could be in the win, if the man makes that fight happen. So a recap of the Showtime card by Dibella Entertainment. Ivan Gulop gets a 3rd round TKO over Fidel. We got Marcus Brown, 1st round knockout of another TKO of Francis Tutti. Adam Kowalski, he stops Ego in the 6th round. So far, let's tally it up right there. Mr.A, Ivan, Marcus, and what's the other one, folks? Adam, I lost. So then we have Fortuna, I lost. So for Easter survives that one, folks, with a split decision. 115, 112 was the winner on that card, and Errol Spence stops Lamont Peterson due to a Barry Hunter stoppage in the corner in the 8th round. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. This is the double RT, the double RTT, the double RT, the double RTT, the double RT, the double RTT, double RT, double RTT, double RTT.